Today we're talking wireless audio.
The DJI Mic 2 was announced a few weeks ago, and I've been waiting on it since since they announced their Wireless Pro system with 32-bit float and a handful of other useful features. Now I figured that DJI would look at what Rode did and come out with something even better. Kind of like what they did with the DJI Mic system before it. But now that it's been announced and a bunch of creators have had their hands on it, I know it's probably not the system for me, and there's a few specific reasons why. So naturally, my eyes turned back to the Rode Wireless Pros for another few specific reasons, but before diving in and buying the set, I wanted to test them out with my Sony FX6, which happens to be my main camera. And luckily for me, my brother just bought the Rode system, so I've been testing. Brody, have you used these yet?
No. But you have. I think I bought them for you. I bought them and gave them to you.
Now, I'm a solo camera operator using the Sony FX6, which has one main crutch. We all know this. It doesn't have any audio inputs on the body of the camera if you remove the top handle, but it does, however, have a timecode BNC input. Now, running timecode is important if you're going to be working with a dedicated location sound person who will be mixing audio separate from your camera, and this is a feature that was included with the Rode Wireless Pro, but unfortunately wasn't actually included in the DJI Mic 2. With the 3.5mm to BNC cable, the timecode generator on the Rode Wireless Pro receiver can be connected to my FX6. This is huge for solo shoots where I need to run audio to the FX6, where I need to maybe remove the top handle of the camera either because it's on a gimbal or I just need to keep a lower profile while filming. And I should actually go back and explain that I'm not actually running audio to the camera, I'm running timecode to the camera so that I can sync the audio in post that's being recorded in the transmitters, or in this case, just the recorders. There is no audio input to the camera, but again, for syncing purposes, we can do that with the Rode Wireless Pro.
Oh yeah, you get that. Okay, so we're basically gonna be simulating a situation I find myself in quite often outside, and that is just having to mic up a talent for like a walk and talk. And so I've got the Rode Mic Pro that's gonna run audio directly into the recorder, and then I've got timecode that is synced between the camera, the receiver, and the recorder. Problem being, I can't hear anything, so we're just gonna walk around and see what we can get. Christoph's gonna give us a quick tour of the studio wearing his loudest possible jacket, so I'll do my best to mic him up in the best way possible.
Don't you want it to be in the loudest part to test how?
Quietest part of the jacket is still gonna be loud.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still gonna be
Oh,
there.
I see what you're saying. So, you
So,
want this in my pocket?
yeah, just like right in this pocket or that pocket. Do I have that pocket in my jacket? I don't think I do.
They added this after I returned it the third time to get repaired. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so zip up your jacket and then I didn't actually go back and watch Mark's video again to see if this was it, but I kind of remember this being the spot.
Oh. The spot to test how loud it is?
The spot that should be like the least amount of rustling, but like...
Oh, 1 second.
Okay, phone call?
Yeah.
Okay,
sorry.
that's okay. That would be awful.
I
I don't want to have to listen to that. Okay, so we've got Christoph mic'd up. He's wearing probably the noisiest jacket that he owns, which isn't going to help our case, but I want to kind of push it and see what happens. So I'm going to pop the gimbal up. We'll just do a quick studio tour and see how good or bad this sounds. I'm going to start rolling, but if you take a look here on top, you've got time code on the...
Hold up. Boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop.
Go ahead.
We've got time code on the receiver, and then if you just go up to the camera, it's on the bottom
So
left.
You got time code on the receiver, I see.
And it should be matching if you get them both in frame there. Are we matching? Yeah, we're good. Okay, cool. And that should also sync up with the other guy too, so.
So this is the Neon Studio. It's a collection of neon signs. There's a bunch of TVs. There's a California sign here. And we got the arcade, the Area 51. Maybe I'll do some things with my hands to see what that sounds like. You never know. That might sound like something. Or if you're doing a thing with a police officer and they were drawing their gun, what would that sound like on the mic? I don't know if that's useful for your experiment. It has
Christoph, just keep walking with us. But basically, I think we got the point there, is that I can't hear how much scratching is actually happening on the jacket right now. So I don't know, Christoph, you've shot a lot of this stuff too. How would you feel?
I'd be a little nervous, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about audio at all. So if it was, but if I was being hired to do something where audio was important, I would be stressing out for sure, not having any idea how it sounds.
Are you saying audio is not important on a feature film?
I'm saying it is, it's just not my problem usually. It's not a consideration for me, but it is important, obviously. Audio is super important.
There's many times when I'm shooting that I need to hide the audio source while filming, and while all of the prosumer wireless systems come with a 3.5mm inputs, only the Rode Wireless Pro has now included a threaded 3.5mm audio jack, which is important if you want to make sure your lav stays plugged in while recording. There's plenty of situations where the lav can get pulled, even only half out of the input, which can basically render your audio useless. The locking collar also gives you the opportunity to use more pro-level lavs like the Sanken Cos 11D, which I happen to have just purchased 2 of. These lavs are incredibly expensive at over $500 a piece, but they sound 1,000 times better than the included Rode lavs. And as a documentary filmmaker, quality audio is probably the most important part of the production process. So next up, we're talking internal storage. The Rode Wireless Pros offer 32 gigs, which means you'll probably run out of battery long before you run out of memory. So as long as you format your transmitter from shoot to shoot, you're gonna be fine. Now, the DJI Mic 2, on the other hand, only offers 16 gigs of storage, which is probably fine in most shoots, but let's be honest, take more when you can get it, I guess. This is probably the least important thing to talk about because in most situations we're hiding the mics, but the original DJI Mic looked a lot more sleek and professional if the microphone had to be shown in the shot. But with the new DJI Mic 2, they went for this 90s see-through Nintendo 64 controller look, which is not really my personal favorite. And then they also gave the Pearl White edition, which really only works if you're the on-ice cameraman at the World Juniors. I don't know if you saw that guy, he just white helmet, white top to bottom. He's the only guy that could take advantage if he's doing BTS. So if you're that guy, the Pearl White DJI Mic 2 might work for you. So I guess that leads into the question, am I buying the Rode Wireless Pros? While I thought going into this video that I'd be completely sold on the Rode mics after testing and getting some really good advice from my good friend Adam White, unrelated but great last name, he brought up some great points. Most important being that while I do get timecode and 32-bit float, I still won't be able to monitor the audio live because the receiver has only one 3.5 mic input. To also monitor audio, Rode would have had to have included a second headphone jack to monitor audio. Getting a live feed is crucial if you want to make sure that you don't have any clothing rustling, pops and S's from the mic placement, or heavy wind noise going into the capsule. So although I thought this would be the tiny 32-bit floating solver of all of my audio problems, it turns out that just like cameras, there isn't one perfect wireless solution. Also, Sony, just put a 3.5mm mic jack into all of your cameras. Please, please. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be buying the Rode Wireless Labs because although they're a great wireless prosumer kit, they don't solve the one major problem I initially had: to be able to capture reliable audio without the top handle of the FX6 when I don't have budget for a sound person on set. And as Adam wisely brought up to me earlier in a phone call, I did just purchase 2 sets of EWDP Sennheiser wireless kits. So if you found this video useful in any way, please leave it a like. It's always great. Comment down below what wireless lav system that you're using for your productions. Are you using the Rode Wireless Pros or did you pick up the DJI Mic 2s? Let me know if you have any additional pros and cons to each. I just know that this is a funny camera when you take off that top handle, and I'm still looking for the best solution. And I think the best solution is hire an audio person. That's always the best solution. Adam, James, Scotty, you're my main 3 guys, and I do my best to hire you when I can. All right, we'll see you next week. I love that this was just on the whole time. Just me in the background. Sick. We have eye autofocus going. This is good. This is a good thing. Okay.